The Florida Senate making it official, voting to permanently remove suspended Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel by an overwhelming margin of 25-15.
Israel was suspended by Governor Ron DeSantis for his department's response to the Parkland school shooting that left 17 people dead in 2018.
Big story, and our next guest famously clashed with Israel following the shooting during a televised town hall. She joins us now. Of course, she's syndicated radio host Dana Lash. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning.
He's out.
Good
you
morning,
happy?
Ed, Ainsley, and Brian.
Good to see you. What's your reaction?
I am. I'm happy. I'm happy for all of the families, because no matter where they fell on the political side of things, they were all united in making sure this guy goes. And the only people who stood with this coward, and I want to be really clear, I think Scott Israel is a thug. I think he's a coward. I think he attempted to bully people, particularly me, on stage, wherein he blamed me for his failures and his incompetency. If I was doing his job, I would have done it a heck of a lot better than that man. That sad excuse for a man would have done. But I am glad that these families were victorious. I am glad that they got this dangerous man out of this office, and they have someone who actually has the training and has the desire to serve the people of Broward County. And the individuals that stood with Scott Israel, they did unfortunately fall on the political side of things. It was a party line vote, as I understand, originally, and then there were some Democrats that actually did support his ouster. But thankfully, you had people like Andy Pollock, Ryan Petty, other members of other families who suffered as a result of, partially because of this man's incompetency, that were there in Tallahassee to make sure that the Florida Senate understood how important it was that this dangerous guy not be allowed to stay in that office. Now, he's going to, if you can believe this, he's going to run for re-election. He wants his seat back. He thinks it's his divine right to be in this seat. Now, this is a guy who failed also with the Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood Airport. Remember that, the shooting that took place there? There was a report that was done that showed all of the failures under Scott Israel's amazing leadership, and how those failures set the stage for his incompetency and what he failed at Parkland. How they didn't even establish, a base. How his deputies, the MSD Commission, discovered that his deputies were not kept up to date with active shooter training, which is why you had Coral Springs police react so strongly after Scott Israel started chasing cameras mere hours after that Parkland massacre.
Let's hear from,
and so I'm glad this guy is gone.
Yeah, pardon me. Let's just hear from Scott Israel, because you've had your time and we're going to give you more. But here's what he said to the voters in Broward County. I'm sad to report that politics won the day. Your vote has been stolen, he says, and the results of our 2016 election have been overturned. From 450 miles away, the governor substituted his judgment for yours and installed his own sheriff in Broward County. Your reaction?
You know what was stolen? The lives of those people that Scott Israel failed to protect. Though that's what was stolen. It wasn't politics that led Scott Israel to deny his deputies training. It wasn't politics that led an 85% vote for the deputies in his union. First time they've ever done that, had a vote of no confidence in this man. It wasn't politics that encouraged Scott Israel to with the Promise program and his lack of following up on these tips that were reported to his office, to deny the establishment of a criminal record that would have prevented this murderer from later buying a gun. It wasn't politics. It was incompetency. Scott Israel needs to be reminded that he's not the victim here. Those families are.
You're right. Thank you so much, Dana.
I'm going for the Pollock family, too. It's our son.
Yes, I know. We had them on yesterday.
Hunter.
And the dad on the day before.
Yeah.